Okay, so it's become painfully clear to me that some of you view the LinkedIn Learning tutorials as optional. Please don't do that. Instead, please watch the tutorials assigned in the exercise 1 and engage in every step the author directs. For example, some of you don't know how to package your InDesign files, even though there's a whole chapter dedicated to it in the tutorials. So let me show you. So on the second one, let's see, scroll down. There is, section right here on packaging. Some of you have asked me about colors and style, which is in here. So please do yourself a favor and actually watch these videos so that you understand how to use the software. Okay, next, in your problem 1 folder, all of you will find in process files, you'll find a folder here called lectures from 1-26 and exercise 1A. So these are all the files from that we went over in class on January 26th. And it also has exercise 1A. So that's the grid that I printed out for you that you were supposed to draw the grid on there. Please complete this by next class period, which will be Monday, the 31st, because I'm going to grade them. So if you'll see on the schedule, we're going to talk about exercise 1A grid discussion. So you need to have those ready. So we're going to talk about that and I'm going to grade them. So please draw on your grids, scan them, and upload them to the appropriate folder in your OneDrive, which is called Exercise 1A Grid. Scan and upload your work here. So please do that before class, and we'll discuss it. Also, you all should have already started watching the LinkedIn Learning video about type combinations, and we're going to discuss that in class. Lastly, we're going to discuss, I wasn't able to get to everybody in critique, so I'm going to discuss between now and next class period what I'm looking for, specifically in InDesign, so that you know what to make. So here we go. And also, so for some of you, you were on schedule, others were super behind. So hopefully watching this video, you'll be able to understand what you need to make. Oh, one other thing I should mention before we talk about InDesign. In your your files to client and vendor, there you'll find a rubric. Everybody has this, and please find this rubric you'll be graded against in the folder files to client vendor. This is what you'll be graded against. So please take a look at this, print it out. And yeah, so let's talk about what I was looking for in iteration 2 that a lot of us weren't quite up to. So for one, I want to see a page where you're looking at your 10 different type combinations like this, like where you have a typeface and for your headline, and then you have a different typeface for your body copy. Now, hopefully that video on matching up typefaces will help influence your decisions. So please create something like this within your document. But let's talk about the main submission for iteration 2. So I'm going to create a new document here. I'm going to print, letter size. I'm going to change this to inches because I don't speak picas. It's going to be facing pages, 8.5 by 11. Let's see, we already know that this is supposed to be called, let's see, let me pull up the instructions here where you can see it. We already know this is supposed to be called first name, last initial, P1, I2. So we're going to do that, except for I'm going to change it to my name, Matthew L, P1, I2, 8.5 by 11, portrait, facing pages. We're going to have 8 pages. I am going to start off with 5 columns so I can have a lot of flexibility. And if I turn on preview here, I can kind of see my document coming together. See how I did that? Preview. Then I'm going to make my gutters about pretty generous, like, let's see, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3, 1, 2, 5, something like that. Oops. Okay, so I just accidentally hit enter and I wasn't done yet, so I can go to File, Document Setup, and my margins here. I'm going to want to make all my margins at least 1 inch, and I'm going to make that bottom 2 inches. Now, you all get to pick these parameters. I'm just showing you how I would do it. You can copy what I'm doing, or you can iterate on what I'm doing. I'm going to make this 1.125. That's a standard bleed at pretty much any print company. So now that I've got all my stuff plugged in, I'm going to hit done. So this first page, up here, we have our master page, or parent page, that's going to affect everything. Anything we put up here will also happen on all these pages. So here's going to be our cover, our back cover, and then the internal spreads. So, for example, if we were to delete these pages, this would be one sheet of paper. You have, and you have to think of it like these two. If you fold a book flat, like if you open up a book and then fold it flat, this is the back cover, this is the front cover, this is the back cover. They're like the same sheet of paper, but in InDesign it separates it like this. So we've got 4 pages, or 2 spreads, or 1 sheet. And your minimum requirement is at least 8 spreads. Okay, so with if we scroll down to, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a hybrid of what iteration 2 is and what iteration 3 is. So we'll want the cover, and let's see, we'll, you know, like I said, you'll probably want something like date, project title, your name. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to pop that in here so I have a note that, like, okay, I probably want to put something like this on this page for my cover. Okay. Next, I'm probably going to put my table of contents in this page. So I'll mark out a section for that. You know, I'll say, you know, section title. We'll just do something like that. Then I'm going to pop another deal over here. I'm going to right justify it and just do the page number, page number, page number, page number, page number. Okay, so I kind of got my table of contents planned out, how it's going to fit into the grid, where it's going to go. So, of course, this will probably change some, but the first thing we need to do is make sure we save this in the correct location, which is under downloads. This is where I'm putting my files. Remember, this is iteration 2. So I'm going to save this in here. And then when I start adding links and fonts, before a due date, you have to package it. So please watch those videos to know how to package it, because I don't want to open up this folder and see just an InDesign file. I want to see your packaged InDesign file that'll have the fonts and the links there, so I won't get any errors when I open up your document. So next thing to do is kind of plan out how every page is going to look. So let's see. So we'll do that up here in our parent page. I'm going to say, I'm going to create a page number here. And instead of, so you see when I put this 2 here, now it's going to put the 2 on every page. We don't want that, right? We want it to be the page number. So if you highlight it and right click, and oh shoot, where is this at? I forget. Special character, marker, current page number, and it'll change it to A. And then I'm going to align this in my grid. Put this, somewhere towards the bottom, and I'll put a little marker so I know where to put my other one. And just line it up with my column here. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, come over here, paste it, and pull it down here. And then I'm going to left justify it. Let me go ahead and make this a style now. Let's look up Garamond. And regular, I'm going to make that 8 points. And I'm going to save a style over here called, double click it, it opens up this box. I'm going to call it page number. Hit OK. All right, I'm going to apply that over here as well, but you see it'll left justify it. So I'm going to send it back over to the right. And now it's saying there's an error. That's just because we sent it over to the right. If that bothers you, you can always make a second paragraph style and call this page number right. And it's based on page number. So anything that you do to change to page number, this will also change. So let me give you an example. So let's say I open up page number and I change the color to blue, then that'll be blue and that'll be blue. Does that make sense? So, and the way you would turn that off is you would say based on none paragraph style, and then it will create its own unique paragraph style. So I'm going to hit undo because I don't want those to be blue. Okay, so next up, I think that I want to get some space in here to divide things out. So I'm going to pop in a bunch of these grid lines and select all of them. Come over here to align, make sure it's aligned to selection. There we go, spread those out. Oops. I want to spread them out this way. Yep. Okay, that's looking pretty good, I think. It's almost a square. Let's pop in one more, see how that goes. Okay, so now I kind of know where I want things to start, and I've got my columns to separate sections of text, and I know that this is what was it, 3.3125? Was that the... So I know that if my column widths, my column gutters are going to be 0.3125, so I can use that same number to distribute things vertically as well. Okay, so now you can create a separate grid for your cover and table of contents if you want. And you can just do that up here in your parent pages. So let's keep planning things out. We need, let's see, we'll put that up there. We'll get that there where it fits nicely. So we're going to need page numbers. We did that. We're going to need a cover with this information at least. Got the table of contents planned, project brief. So I think that I'll put my project brief here, and delete this, and I'll go, and I should create a style. So let me say type fill with placeholder text. Ooh, and let me turn on the yeah. So we need to make a body copy style. So I'll do that same Garamond regular. Let's make that 10 point. We'll give it some nice leading, and I'll make it optical. I also want to add a little subtle space so it's not like a full return between paragraphs. It's a little bit less than that. So let me show you how to do that. We've got a paragraph here, paragraph here, paragraph here. Let's just change that to 3 paragraphs. That'll be enough for a problem statement. So grab all this, hit body, hit paragraph style. I'm going to call this body copy. And I've got my settings in here that I can always come back and universally tweak these throughout the whole document. That's where paragraph styles are really powerful. So I'm going to add some space before. And you see how it just gives a slight space? So it's not like a full return, but it's a little bit of space between our paragraphs. All right, that's good for now. Okay, so I got my paragraph style. And let's change these up here to that. And anytime you get this plus sign, that means there's an error. You see the error down here? So we know that the error is because there's more text past this line that's not showing. So I'm going to double click that, and now the box went away. Same thing. Now those aren't lining up. Why is that? There we go. There we go. And I'm going to justify those so they're right next to the section titles. And I'll probably come in here and change this later to make make it a creative style just for the table of contents. Okay, so I've got my body copy. Now in the remaining pages, we're going to plan out how our spreads look. So and then remember, back to our conversation, when I hit the information panel, this is 124 characters long. That's too long for reading. So let's divide this into 2 columns. I'm going to click this button here, come up here, and see when you use columns, it'll automatically shape your paragraph to that column. Okay, so this paragraph, this paragraph is 36 characters. That's too short. So I think what we need to do is give this more space. And I'll delete this one and do something like that. And this is at 70 characters. That's a little bit on the high end. So I could come up here and change my columns. Or, I could mess around with the type size. I think what I'll do is stick with this for now, where I'll have a little bit of a shorter column, a little bit of a longer column. So this one will be like it's within the rules of the character count. And then this one is not. So actually, I can't do that. That's hurting people's legibility. So I'll open this up, and I'll plan on my... so here, in this case, I think I'll just plan on doing this much text. And make sure that it fits in the column. Make sure these two, fit in the row. Also, you can do something where... So say you have something like this and you want it to span the whole space. You can come up here and you see where it says top align. You can do bottom align, mid align, or distribute evenly. So let's stick with that for now. And I think that'll move this paragraph over so that we get a nice visual harmony right here between to express where our grid is at. Okay. So let's talk about how we'll fill out the rest of the document. I'm gonna, yeah, we'll do that in the next video.